Hey, you guys, will you take a 7-minute opening starting screen? Because I feel like singing this.
I'd stress in, stop studying strife, and learn to live the unexamined life.
Yes, my life is a musical. Yes, I will indulge in whimsy at any given point. But also, I just feel like
more painless.
fish is already open, Tiny.
Why think too
I got
hard
you.
when it's so soothing, dancing through life. No need to tough it when you can slap it off as I do.
Nothing matters, but knowing nothing matters.
It's just life, so
And
keep dancing.
I feel like we just,
Dancing through life, swaying and sweeping, and always
know.
keeping cool.
There's some good polls coming out of Iowa.
Life is fraughtless when you're thoughtless.
I did not
Those who
see the
don't
tragic
try
news, DJ, no.
never look foolish, dancing through life, mindless and careless. Make sure you wear less. Trouble is right, woes are fleeting, blows are glancing when you're dancing through life. So, what's the most swankified place in town?
Well, that would be the Ozdas
Sounds
Ballroom.
perfect! Let's go down to the Ozdas Ballroom. We'll meet there later tonight. We can dance till it's light. Find the prettiest girl, give her a whirl. Right on down to the Ozdas Ballroom. Come on, follow me. You'll be happy to be there, dancing through life. If only because dance is what we come to. Nothing matters, but knowing nothing matters. It's just
Life.
life. So keep dancing. And Miss Galinda, I hope you'll save at least one dance for me. I'll be right there waiting all night.
Oh, that's so kind. But you know what would be even kinder? See that tragically beautiful girl, the one in the chair. It seems so unfair, we should go on a spree and not she. Gee, I know someone would be my hero if that someone were to go invite her.
Well, maybe I could invite her.
Oh, Bick, really? You would do that for me?
I would do anything for you, Miss Galinda.
So,
So I'll be picking you up around 8?
after all, now that we've met one another, it's clear we deserve each other. You're perfect,
You're perfect.
so we're perfect together. Born to be forever, dancing through life. That's the only bit of the song that I really wanted to do. But it's also good vibes for the start of the stream, okay? And there are some good vibes out there right now. There's good vibes. No, there is. There's a very, I guess, esteemed poll coming out of Iowa. There's even, the insane thing is that there's some shit coming out of Texas. If Texas turns blue, if Texas turns blue, what do we do? I'm so prepared for everything to be red, right? I am. I really am. You know, I don't want to get my hopes up too much. Give 50 subs each to the nearest liberal streamer. You should give 50 subs to me. You should give 50 subs to me. Honestly, I'll take like whatever hope of women's rights, you know? Hi, Blue. Hi, Soon. Hi, Excalibur. Welcome on in, everyone. I hope you're having a nice Monday. I had a really lazy day and I'm ordering dinner. But after the last week I did, I feel like I deserve it. So it's fine. I'm not doomering. I ain't dooming. Shaky. I do think, look, the most doomer take you'll get out of me today is I do think that whatever happens, there probably will be stress. Do you know what I mean? I don't think this is going to be a peaceful, at least a fully peaceful, happy time. Because I just don't trust Trump not to be a psycho dictator. Do you know what I mean? I just don't trust that. I don't. But I do think a lot of the media around the election has been quite manufactured. I think Elon Musk's control of Twitter has been probably a reason for that as well. I went outside today. I took Pixel for a long walk. Absolutely not, commie. I live here. I don't want Elon. Go away. What? Where did you think? What are you trying to do? Do not bring him here. Do we know if he's a fan of submarines? Leonardo DiCaprio? Is he particularly passionate about any shipwrecks or anything like that? False. Pixel doesn't bark. She's a delightful little dog. She's just there sitting in her bed. She's delightful. She has her moments where she needs to talk. Also, in delightful news chat, I didn't realize this, but season 2 of Shrinking is out, and I do enjoy that show. And guess what? It's basically half the cast of Scrubs. Honestly. And it's quite funny. I really enjoy it. So I watched the first 2 episodes of season 2 last night on the couch, and it was really nice and relaxing. I want the election to be over. Never been so dejected. Don't be dejected. I think the election is going the way of your username, Death by Andy, and that is blue. I honestly think overturning Roe v. Wade was a mistake. I think women are going to vote. I will be disappointed if the election doesn't go blue. Not surprised. Like, my hopes aren't so high that I won't be able to handle every single state going red. I don't think that will happen. But I do, occasionally I do kind of wonder, there is really nothing quite as powerful as a woman scorned. And I do believe that many women are feeling particularly scorned right now. It's really high, Casual Cupcake. Did you make that up? No, I didn't. It's a quote from somewhere. Don't know where. Oh, Blue, I'm sorry. Blue, I would just step out of it. Don't engage in any of it. I truly sometimes saying nothing, and like, I am not a fan of the Democratic Party's line. It's like, when they go low, we go high. But I do believe that sometimes in those drama situations, sometimes you just say nothing. Sometimes you step back. You don't have to say anything. People make their beds and they lie in them, and you don't have to say shit. Because at the end of the day, your choices make up your life. I do. It's, I know the emotional process.
Full-blown house deposit.
Hey! Black, thank you for your prime. I know the emotional process that went into you retweeting that tweet. I know what it is. I know the emotional process. Your ex hurt you a lot, and it feels somewhat good to do that sometimes. I do understand it. Because, like, I feel like you probably knew it would get back to her. And I kind of think it's a justified process of emotions. But sometimes it is better to just, I don't know. By the way, this is coming from somebody who has probably engaged in the same behavior when she was younger. Now I just don't. You won't hear shit from me. They're always going to check your stuff, Blue. People always check your stuff, even if you're blocked. You don't have to go private. You have to move on, which is the hardest thing. You do not have to go private. You don't. You just have to live your life. But moving on can sometimes be really hard. And then you just ignore. You just ignore. It's really, really, really difficult. And I'm so sorry that you're going through this. It's hard. Blue, I think you might have noticed, but so do you see anything about my personal life on any of my socials? I don't have any other socials. I don't have private socials or anything. Do you see anything? No. Because I just don't think social media is for that. Some people use it for that, but I don't think it's necessary. I really don't. Like, if somebody were to bring something to socials, I would obviously defend myself or something like that, but that's just not in my nature. I won't do it. Because it feels, screaming into the void can sometimes feel really good in the moment, but I don't think it feels good over time. Do you know what does feel good over time? Journaling. Your sausage looked nice last night. Thank you. I cooked for everybody and it turned out good. And my little, this is what I had in my fridge salad turned out good. I was like, hey guys, does anybody like pickled onions? How do you feel about grapes? Oh, I have one tomato and I have a little bit of lettuce. Is this fine? And everybody was like, yeah, it's a good salad. So my whatever's left in my fridge salad turned out really good. I was very happy with it. But I also want to be very real with you. I had Kraft mac and cheese for breakfast this morning. So while I know I seem like healed, perfect in every single way, no. This morning I just woke up. I was so tired. I'm like, girl, you've been working so hard. And so I just I lazed around in bed for most of the morning, in and out of naps. Delightful. And then I took Pixel for a big WALK with my friend. And then my friend gave me one of the best tarot readings I've ever had. Honestly, shit's looking good. Shit's looking good. Honestly, I don't ever really get good tarot readings. I really don't. And this is probably the first tarot reading I've had that felt accurate, positive, and really good. She will, Blue, but that will hurt. You know how there's that line in the song where it goes, sometimes being hated is better than no attention at all because at least you keep the connection. That's why relationships get toxic, because there is often one person who wants to remain connected to the other person because at least the negative attention is still a connection. Like, it's not a good one, but it's still there. So, you know, it can be really hard to let go of that sometimes. And the way that you become free of that is when you are like, no, none, zero. Oh no, wait, we're back to thriving again? No, because Excalibur, I am in temperance. Okay, I pulled temperance as a card, right? And I'm in temperance. And that is balance in all things, right? So balance in all things means that I have been particularly healthy. I've been very good with my finances. I've been very responsible. I've been working out. I've been working well. I have, I've been doing well. And it is okay to have Kraft mac and cheese for breakfast and be a lazy piece of shit for a day. I wasn't going to work tonight, but honestly, I was in the mood. So here I am, thriving. Blue, just don't respond. Nothing. Oh, that happens, Glack. When somebody gets with someone really quickly after you break up, it can feel like, oh, okay, so yeah, I really meant nothing to you. That's why. Because it's an internal thing. It can hurt you internally because it really pings that, am I not good enough? And then you really have to work on yourself and be like, no, I'm good enough. I'm good enough. It just wasn't the right fit or whatever. Hi, Aaron. Welcome on in, everybody. Happy Monday. Kamala is winning the election. Honestly, do you want to know how I know Kamala is winning the election? Because there's this lady. This is not the truth. But there is this lady. My friend showed me there's this lady who predicts stuff by throwing asparagus at a wall. And basically, ages ago, she threw asparagus at the wall and said Trump was going to lose the election. So, between the asparagus lady, my feminine intuition, the poll coming out of Iowa, North Carolina potentially blue, maybe even a potential Texas flip. That's my stretch goal. Okay, Texas blue is a stretch goal. All right, so we're going that. I'm in a great mood. It's happening. All right, it's great. Sometimes you just have to rely on your feminine intuition. And when it is proven wrong and the angry men win, I will once again be demure, remove every brain cell from my head and find a husband, okay? I don't trust any of that. Give me some sort of animal predicting this and I'll listen. Oh, yeah. Have we had the octopus yet? Or did the octopus that predicts stuff die? What is the octopus? Because the octopus is quite effective as well. You want to put out a Google Forms in advance for the husband? No. 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 No, I don't. Vision. Hi. I'm refusing to get my hopes up. That country is wild. No. See, this is what everybody thinks. People think that if you have hope for something, it means your hope is more likely to be crushed, right? People think there is so much danger in hoping things because if you get your hopes up for something and it doesn't happen, then it's going to feel bad. Guess what feels bad? Not having any fucking hope. Who cares? Okay, so we get our hopes crushed. What? It's a bit embarrassing? Oh, well. Oh, well. This is part of the problem with society. Everybody is just so scared and isolationist and unwilling to be hopeful for the future because it is so fucked up. Everything is so fucked up and it is incredibly hard. But I have been journaling so much so I can be a better person for me, for you, for everyone. And I do think when I use that quote, the one I always come back to, it is better to light one candle than curse the darkness. I think this is part of the biggest problem. People are afraid to hope. People are afraid to hope for things to get better. Oh, the football match one died in 2010, right? I'm not excited for the election, but I'm excited for Pixel Stream election night. Well, we'll all just hold hands and howl at the moon and, I don't know, realize that nothing will probably change, but hey, maybe we don't have to hear about Trump for the next 8 years. You know what I mean? Oh, wouldn't that be so sexy? God, I'd be horny all the time. Oh, God. I think, honestly, if Trump gets in, it's probably a path of celibacy. If Kamala gets in, oh, God. Look out, world. This is why I don't believe in the pessimist doesn't get disappointed. You get disappointed anyway, Kanoe. You might as well have the hope. No, it's definitely not getting better with one election, but God, I wish they would vote in a woman. I posted on Blue Sky last night and I was like, can't wait to dress hot for the matriarchy. This is the beginning. We're taking over, bitches, okay? We're taking over. That's right. I'm going to scare all the men. That's right. It's been thousands of years of patriarchy, but nah, we're doing the matriarchy now and it's going to be so sexy. It's going to be so sexy. God, he won't even be replaced by Tucker Carlson. He'll be replaced by the fucking couch fucker. President Vance, what a ring. Ugh, disgusting. No, have a good look. I hope I'm delightful background noise, and if I'm not, please feel free to turn me off, as I am only AI, and have no feelings, and will not cry myself to sleep. It's fine. I refuse to touch rocks under the matriarchy. Honestly, everybody gets a rock under the matriarchy. And if you're part of my inner circle, I will give you a rock because on Shrinking, I did forget that one of the ladies on Shrinking, when she loves someone, she gives them a rock. So everybody in my inner circle gets a fucking rock. Does mine come with googly eyes as a little bit of a nod to absurdism? I reckon it could, Phil. Hi, Dave. I'm pretty good. How you doing? Where's the forms to request to leave the inner circle? There is no leaving the inner circle, motherfucker. You know too much. You know too much. There is no leaving. It's okay. Authoritarianism is sexy when it's done by a woman. Okay? It's got an entirely different vibe, right? It's different. This is a full-blown house deposit, so... You get a rock, you get a rock, you get a rock. Athena, 49 months. Thank you so much. How you doing? Welcome on in. Have you touched your money rock recently? No, I haven't. But a tarot card reading today said that apparently wealth and abundance was coming my way. Don't know when, but I did get one of the like wealth and abundance cards. So I don't know where it's coming from. But I mean, I don't know where. But the card said so. No, Rokus, it is really true that it is hard to go out and keep living. You have to have some real self-discipline in the way that you process your thoughts. And look, to be honest, I'm not even that good at it, but I do try. Sometimes I think, honestly, in my tarot reading, it was also, by the way, it was just my friend. She got this new beautiful deck with art cards on it. And so she came over and did a tarot reading. I didn't like go and pay for a tarot reading. This was just like really personal friend tarot readings. And it was one of the things because I really do sometimes internalize too much and I give too much weight to my thoughts about how other people perceive me or think about me or whatever. And the reality is sometimes, oh, it's just for fun, splattergasm. But you know how people use like certain prompts to like think about certain things? Sometimes when you do like a silly little tarot reading or rocks or something like that, they can give you a new perspective or a different way to frame certain situations in your life. Or today, for example, the fact that wealth and abundance is coming my way, I'm feeling very positive. I'll get back to you next week when it doesn't happen, but like, I mean, who knows? Hi, Zach. Welcome on in, anybody else who was joining us this fine Monday. In a world where there's like a slim chance Texas might turn blue. I don't know. I just want to avoid Handmaid's Tale, to be honest. Hi, Kuba. No way. There's a small chance. I went and actually had a little look myself just to see what it was looking like. But like it's small, but because so many women have voted and so many women are registered to vote and voting blue, it will be interesting. It seems unlikely. It's a stretch goal, splattergasm. My less stretch goals are Iowa, Pennsylvania, North Carolina. Those are my less stretch goals. Oh, we've still got some time. My election coverage will be from about 2 p.m. on Wednesday, my time, which is when the results will start falling in. But I might try to start around midday or something. I'd settle for avoiding poverty and domestic genocide. Yeah, look, it's a good goal. But you want somebody who might actually listen to you. Trump's not listening to anybody but himself. He's not even being supported by his own fucking cabinet. His ex-cabinet. Like, do you know what I mean? People are like, this man is a fucking loser. Why are you voting for him? I mean, I think there's a potential that Georgia could be blue as well, right? I just don't think Trump is going to win, you guys. I did think he was going to win maybe a month ago. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Also, you just don't know what information you're consuming, right? I'm trying to consume a range of different sources, but you don't know where it's all coming from. So, again, you kind of just have to wait until it happens. I am concerned about violence no matter the outcome, so that's a bit shit. You know. Stretch goals in politics is a level of dystopia I'm not sure I'm ready for. Phil, in case you haven't realized, there is a level of absurdism that you have to maintain in your fucking brain to exist in the world at the moment. There's a level of cognitive, like, you have to be able to handle multiple truths, multiple life experiences, all at fucking once. You have to be aware of a fucking genocide as well as being able to laugh at something else that's going on. It is the most insane life experience that most of us are having right now, where you have to be able to like, tee hee ha ha, oh my God, this is so fun. Red, blue, yeehaw, cool. That's so fun. And then like actually talk about the serious issues as well. I try and find a balance of it here. If you think I get it wrong, sometimes you can. I'm open to criticism, but really I'm just doing my best to cope. Hello, Ben. Who are you? Welcome. I do think I could go blue. Yeah, blue. See, just another sign in the universe. Unfortunately, for the last check notes 4 years, it's become increasingly apparent. Honestly, absurdism and leaning into absurdism has been one of the only things that saved me in my life experience over the past, especially 8 months. But because it's otherwise it's impossible. Oh, half a mate, or I'd do what I can for the people as we all sit here and just try and not go crazy. The Republican funded polls are so silly anyway. The only reason I'm happy to talk about Iowa is because that lady's prediction, Seltzer's prediction, is her last name Seltzer, I think. Her predictions have been like crazy on point since like 2016 or 2000, even before, I think Obama. So, you know. Oh yes. Oh no. By the way, so yes, the climate is still very bad. Having a leader of a very large country believe in climate change is again one of those helpful things. But we still face what feels like insurmountable climate challenges. It's the hardest thing. I think it's one of the hardest things mentally to deal with because you feel so ineffective with everything that you do to help, and then at the same time it feels like it's snowballing. You feel like no one's listening. I mean, I don't know if you saw on the debate that I did the other day where I was talking to those two fucking Republican guys and I was trying to explain that to them about the ocean current changing and how that can affect weather patterns, and it could literally make some parts of Europe uninhabitable because the temperature would be too hot, because the winds would be whatever. Anyway, they just don't care. They just don't care. Like, you have to teach people to care beyond their own nose. And sometimes that is a tricky business. Caring is hard. Caring is hard, but apathy is also hard. You just have to choose which hard you want. I would rather care than be apathetic. You know what I mean? Everything's hard in life. You kind of just, there's that, I'm like rattling off a quote here again, but it's you pick your hard. It's all hard. And it's that other quote as well. It's like, get married, don't get married, you'll regret it. Have kids, don't have kids, you'll regret it. You know, whatever decisions you make in your life, sometimes it can be blah, 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 blah. Either way, sometimes, you know, you'll feel like you regret something. I feel like I've made some really difficult choices in my life. And there's only a couple, and it's not even a regret. I don't regret them, but they were hard choices to make. And they definitely have affected like the outcome and where I am in my life and all sorts of things. I mean, it's such an easy catch-all though, to be like big money controls everything, BB Tiger. It kind of reduces the conversation to being like there's a both sides thing, which you can talk about, Red, because like humanity doesn't have to continue. It can. But it doesn't have to. Do you know what I mean? There's no moral imperative to say that it's like humanity must continue. You have to decide where your morals lie in regards to that. I doubt being on the side of big oil is like the super sexy side though. Do you know what I mean? I feel like being on the side of like a thriving ecosystem where everything is existing in a way that is intertwined, interconnected, is probably the sexier way to go about this, you know? Not like, you know what I want to do, mate? Dig up oil out of the ground and make some fucking plastic, bitches. Yeah. You know what I love the most? Fucking plastic. And you know? That's less sexy than being like, oh my God, look at me living hand in hand with this cute turtle. I do think that a lot of Americans are so hyper-focused on internal American politics that they do not look outside the country. I know that because when I went to TwitchCon, I spent most of my time with Republicans. I doubt they like me very much right now, but that's fine, whatever. We were talking about it, and none of them even knew that, like, in Pakistan, 33 million people were displaced by a flood. Do you guys understand the scale of how many people that is displaced by a flood? 33 million. Do you know the scale of that? Like, I mean, people are apathetic to politics in general because it's uncomfortable to talk about. And unless people really listen to you, it can feel like it's attacking some sort of moral foundation, or they might not feel like they're educated enough to have an opinion. Or the thing that happens to me most is they're like, oh, you're a feminist, so you hate men. And I'm like, do I? Do I really? No, it's not. Not a none. You're right. By the way, I expected Wicked to disappoint me, but the reviews have been good. I don't think you understand how excited I am. I'm making Glinda's wand. I found a pretty pink dress. I'm making Glinda's wand. I'm literally so excited. I don't think I've ever been this excited for a movie. I don't think you understand. The day of the premiere, I'm doing a get ready with me stream. I'll do my makeup, my hair. I'm wearing a fucking ball gown. I am. I'm wearing a ball gown. Correct, Ruckus. Look, the rules for your chat are way too long. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. You could do better. If the people that come into my chat don't know how to follow rules, you're not going to last very long. I'm an authoritarian leader here. Clean it up a bit and get straight to the point. The less rules, the better. Are you a libertarian? Are you a libertarian? It's giving libertarian. Libertarian with an opinion on my little corner of the internet where I make the fucking rules. I might even add another one. Also, my rules are not even that bad. My rules are good. Community, no. Where's community settings, moderation? These are my rules that you agreed to when you came into my chat. There's fucking 9 of them. That's not even that many. I encourage meaningful and diverse discussion. Please consider the following points or I will throw you somewhere. No racism or sexism. Wow. Damn. English only. That's because I can only speak English. Okay. That's the only reason. Be nice. Make friends. Wow. Damn. Ridiculous. Links from unknown sites are blocked. I just don't want you to get timed out. Don't self-promote. I mean, please at someone if you're having a convo, and don't at me too much because it annoys me. And when you annoy me, I ban you. No pet names. It seems fine. Respect the mods and settle in and enjoy the content. Damn, she a harsh leader. She a harsh leader. Enjoying the content is obviously a rule. If you don't enjoy the content, I require you leave. I don't think it should be a requirement to be nice. Why? Are you one of those cool assholes who makes it their whole personality to be contrarian? I'm an asshole. Deal with it. Are you one of those guys? I don't know where you got a warning. Where'd you go? I didn't give you a warning. Hi, Trange. I'm delightful. I think it's not fair to be censored based off what I'm thinking. I'm not going to say anything offensive, but it feels like these mods are already on the attack. You did this to yourself, motherfucker. You know how, in the same way, I am the victim of my own decision making? You are too. You came in here, you acted the way that you did, and now you are getting the response that you got. You did this to yourself. Hopefully this can be a learning experience, and then the next time you join a chat, you just go, hey guys, what's going on? I'm new here. And then guess what? Maybe we have a conversation. Maybe you begin to like the content. So
we are all victims of our own choices.
Vic, 46 months later, would you say you've ever enjoyed my content over those 46 months? I unfortunately made it a rule, so you have to. Once or twice? Perfect. It's literally stupid. I came in here combative and being like, you have too many rules and now everybody hates me. Oh my god, what? That's so wild. Oh, wow. Oh my god, chat, he's a conspiracy theorist. Oh, it's deep beneath the surface. It is. It is deep beneath the surface. I'm actually running a high-demand authoritarian cult. I am. It runs so fucking deep, bro. You don't even fucking know. What am I having for dinner? I get to order dinner tonight. What am I having? I want the mod who gave me the warning to out themselves right now. I'm not going to get mad this time, but I would just like to know your name. Hi, I'm just wondering if it will be a giant problem to permaban you. And if you were wondering, I did it myself. Because I'm bored and I would like to order dinner. So that was fun, guys. Delightful. How fun. That's so fucking wild. People on the internet are stupid. See, I always get really excited and then I remember that my favorite cheap Thai place isn't open on a Monday. I don't think. It's not. Why? Why? Do you know what I mean? And then I get nervous because I don't want to risk a Thai that I haven't had before and it's not open on a Monday. But I think I really want Thai food. No, I'm off Korean at the moment because I had bad tteokbokki that not that long ago. I don't feel like Vietnamese. I want like a curry. Oh, I could try. I could see if there's a Japanese curry going around. I could order Japanese curry. I could have a chicken katsu curry rice. Oh, it's got to happen. It's got to happen. It's happening. I haven't had Japanese in a very long time, so do I want any little snacks? See, I would love to get a agadashi tofu, but it doesn't deliver very well, you know? It doesn't taste good in the end. Tempura, I don't want the flavor of the oil. Yeah, I mean, gym people love sushi, right? I don't want sushi though, I don't think. What about just some gyoza? Oh, I know, General Steve, and I'll be covering it. I think there's hope. I think Kamala's going to win, but I think it will be stressful no matter what. Hi, Aldraxic. Yeah, maybe some gyoza with some dipping sauce and chicken katsu. That's plenty. I don't even need a drink because I have a vanilla Coke in the fridge if I do want it. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I've been so good with my eating. Oh, very good. You can get vegetarian gyoza, but these ones aren't. I think Trump is likely to claim a victory no matter what. I don't think so. What's the gym routine at the moment? Well, I go to yoga on Sundays, and then on a Tuesday I do like a heavy workout is my plan. Like tomorrow I've got a heavy workout booked for tomorrow. And then Monday, Wednesday I don't go. I don't know, I'm kind of only going every second day because my body's just not really up to going every day. But it's going well. Like I went for a walk today. I walk every day anyway, so like he's been trying to sow discord that you know, no matter what happens, the election will be stolen. How far do you walk? Today it was only like 3 kilometers. Couple of hills though, so it wasn't too bad. Look, guys, last week was so hectic and I was so proud of myself that I've started this week off real slow. Like I really did kind of laze around in bed this morning, and as I said, I had Kraft mac and cheese for breakfast. Like I rolled out of bed, went to my cupboard, saw the last bag of Kraft mac and cheese in the back of my thing, and I was like, I'm having that for breakfast. I had other options. I had toast, a banana, I had eggs. Could have made an omelet. Was I going to do that? No. So I just, with my eyes half open, I made my Kraft mac and cheese with the powdered cheese. It's disgusting. And I put it in the microwave, and then in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I carried it back and I ate it in bed. And then I had another nap. Okay, so I know I'm a queen, thriving, an inspiration. But sometimes you just have to allow yourself to just be like, huh. For those of you wondering, though, I did respond to emails today. I had to respond to 3 emails, and I did get it all done. So I am proud of myself for that. That was quite good. I know. 3 whole emails. I really hate doing emails. My mum turned me onto this Netflix show called The Diplomat. It's just nerds being nerds and the face characters in D&D gossiping. I don't see why we need a government to do that. I think the hardest thing for us as humanity is to depolarize our global discourse. I think that's where we're really suffering right now. And the problem is it requires functional education systems globally. And I like even the Australian education system, which is pretty good, functions on sticks and glue. There's been like a max exodus of teachers since the pandemic globally because not only was teaching from home really difficult, like they were just like glorified babysitters at sometimes, like it was really difficult. But it's very hard because in a lot of societies, teachers are not respected in the way that they should be. Fox, there are a lot of Americans who can't read at all. There's a study to say that there's like a bunch of Americans who can't read beyond a 6th grade level. That's when all these motherfuckers come out and they're like, oh, Trump's going to impose tariffs and that's going to be really good for our economy. And they do not understand what that entails. Like, do you know who's going to pay? Like, if Trump puts tariffs on importing, so do you know who is going to pay for that? You fucking poor person. It's like... Oh, God, it's even lower than 6th grade? Jesus, anarchist. See, sanguinary, that's like, oh. Sticks and glue is better than the spit and bubble gum we have over here. Oh. You know, there has been surprisingly little discourse around guns, though, this election. That's been interesting. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really feel like there has been any, like it just hasn't really been a conversation. Like, they're really not running with the Democrats want to take away your guns. Like, they're not running on that. Telling my mum something she shows me as AI every single day is killing my soul slowly. Oh, that's hard. No, it is. It's when those really basic human needs are fulfilled for people. It's so surprising, but people find it much easier to find meaning in their lives and find community and support and growth and God knows maybe some even self-actualization at the end. But when that is not available to you, the decisions that are available to you are different. It's why people drink. It's why people do drugs. It's why people commit petty crime. It's that turns into violent crime. I'm not going to lie, today on my walk, I came across this group of teenage boys doing nangs. Sitting there just huffing balloons, and I'm like, fuck, man, you don't even know where your brain cells are going. But they ain't coming back. Nangs, I think in America, like it's rebranded as something like Galaxy Gas or something, but it's like but can you blame them? Not really. I feel like teenage boys and girls are in really difficult situations. I do think it's hard. You forget sometimes how hard it was being a teenager, and I can't imagine how difficult it is being a teenager now. Yeah, I think it's really difficult. And with the rise of like Andrew Tate and that telling young boys a really wrong idea of how to be a successful young man and having that be embarrassing in the end for them, it's not good. It's not good because it is embarrassing, right? And occasionally embarrassed men are very violent. Um, and teenagers can be rather unhinged in the way that they deal with that. Yeah, Professor Fappington, it's kind of wild, hey. My teenage years were so tame. My parents nearly called the police on me because I fell asleep at a house party once when I was 18 years old. And so I didn't get home until 4 a.m. And I remember it vividly because I had one of the big vodka cruises to myself. But I'm not going to lie, beyond that, I was in my room playing Neopets. Between the ages of 14 and 18, I was in my bedroom playing Neopets. If I wasn't doing ballet, I was playing Neopets. Or studying. Anyway, I was really cool, and you're so lucky to have me. Look how far I've come. No, my parents, my parents still care about where I am. Sometimes if I tell my mom I'm going to a party, I am like 40 years old. Sometimes when I tell my mom I'm going to a party, she's like, and when are you coming home? Or she'll message me. She's like, are you home yet? Like, she'll still sometimes do that. It's kind of nice. But also sometimes she doesn't because, like, I'm an adult, so. They were somehow getting their hands on pingers? Damn. I'm so lucky because I didn't try any drugs until I was very old. Like I was well and truly out of my teens before I tried any single drug on the planet. Cam, I think it's really bad. I know why they're doing it, and it's because there is quite a decent amount of violent crime in some certain parts of Queensland. And they're obviously trying to deter. But again, as you know, I went to university for forensic psychology, and the reality is that you need to fix the community problems at the basis of the crime that is happening, not lock the children up as adults. It doesn't work. It only increases cases of recommitting the crime, basically. So what'll happen is, say a teenager, they're magic cards, Danny. Say a teenager commits a crime. Say they steal a car, and they go to jail for violent crime because it's, they did it aggressively or whatever, or violent theft, grand theft auto, perhaps. No, I'm joking. But they go into the prison system. They don't find a very easy way out of that prison system. And it's really hard to explain to people, like, recidivism is very high. And especially when it comes to putting children behind bars. They look big for magic cards. They aren't, they're magic cards. Which pile you want to see? God, I've got so many magic cards to go through. I'm trying to build a deck at the moment based around a moose. Because, well, I love a moose. I think it's going to be green. Cute little elemental turtle. Oh, these are all my rare ones that are just like pretty. Like, how pretty is this swamp? Like, it's not rare, but focus. I don't know, I just thought it was pretty. I gotta go through an organizing. Are they for collecting? No, I play. Actually, my friends are all playing Magic tonight. I was gonna go. But I honestly just felt like having a bit of a break. I'm a bit socially burnt out. But yeah, no, I play Magic. My friends actually bought me the print of my commander for my enchantment deck. I love playing my enchantment deck. That's my favorite one to play at the moment, I think. Look, the thing with Magic is it's a really fun third space. No, there's no gambling. It's a really fun third space just to go and hang out with your friends. It's a really good deck, DJ. I haven't played it. I haven't had the chance to play it yet. But I have sleeved it, so I can play it now the next time I play, and I definitely will play it. I'm so excited to have a fairy deck. I might even upgrade that one. But it's a good way to go and spend time with your friends. It's fun. It's table politics. It's a good time. It's a really big learning curve. I'm still not that good at it. But yeah, it's fun. It's definitely it's very capitalistic in the way that there are lots of cards and they are expensive And I think once you have some cards, you kind of just have to tell yourself you can't buy any because it's just, yeah, it's very much like Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah. I think Pixel needs to do a wee. I'll be right back. Come on. I'll take you outside. Come on, baby. That took some convincing. I don't play online because what I really needed in my life was an excuse to get out of the house. Honestly, I think one of the biggest improvements, even though like I'm such an online girly, I really am, and I love being at home and I love being online, because I live alone. You need reasons to leave the house. It's really important. And going out and living my life out in other places has been so important. It's hard. That's why if you're like at the stage where you find it difficult to leave the house, it is a simple, and it's where I started. I just went for walks. That's where it starts. You go for walks, and then the bravest thing to do is go to, oh, thank you, Vox, is go to a cafe by yourself and just eat breakfast or something, or a diner, and just go. Take a book, and just go. And yeah, but it's you've got to get comfortable being around people, which was difficult for me as well, Danny. You want to cuddle? No, Ruby got me into MTG for sure. She made it. I had wanted to play MTG for a really long time. But it's really intimidating. It's a really intimidating game. So it can be really difficult to get into because it is so intimidating. Because there's just like, there's such a learning curve, you know? Blue, it's really empowering. Once you can do anything I couldn't go to the supermarket by myself at 22. Literally. Just so you know. I've told this story many times on stream, but I'll tell it again. I could not go to the supermarket by myself. And I got better. I know. And I got better as I got older, But I was like, I don't want to go to the supermarket by myself. I didn't want to drive by myself. I didn't, yeah. Was that before you started streaming? Yes. My friends at the time gave me the confidence to go live because I'm so awkward. They were like, you should stream playing games because people would find it funny. You could search the world and never find such good goop.
Here for my semi-sesquicentennial subversary, seems forever, maybe that's why it's diamond. Love your work, love your singing, love your crusade for nuance and kindness.
This is a full-blown house deposit.
Famous.
Oh Catboy, 73 in a damn long time.
Stop.
Miss you fam smixo love.
2 very long time subs right here. Famous, thank you for the 75 months. And Timmy, thank you for the 73 months as well. That is so lovely. Thank you so much, you guys. It's a really long time. Gosh, like I just can't believe the versions of my life that you would have witnessed. So many. It's been a wild ride. Yeah, imagine living it. God, even looking back at some of like my old TikToks and even some of like the old things I used to think about life, you know, you really do. It is inevitable in life that you are a hypocrite at one point or another because it's so easy to be confident in something when it is your life experience. And the earlier you can listen to other people and their life experiences, damn, the sooner you learn. Twitch goes up and down in popularity. I think Twitch was relatively popular during the pandemic, just because everybody was a bit trapped. But yeah. Oh, there's clips. We do the clip thing once a year where you can pay $10 a clip. I just don't do subathons or anything like that often because I try not to be a scam. But there are very old clips of me that are interesting, to say the least. Do you have your first stream recorded anywhere? There is a clip that exists from my first stream. I don't know if it's the whole recording, but there's definitely a clip. Yeah, and Timmy, that happens though, right? Like life ebbs and flows and your priorities change and I mean, Aaron, I think that's really normal as well. Like, you know, people's priorities change. And that was actually a difficult like lesson for me to learn, that to a lot of people I am just content, and that's okay. That's okay. Hey, Timmy, what do you do now? Oh, perfect. Are you enjoying it? Truck driving is a good living if you can hack it. I fucking love it. I'm so happy for you. Danny, it's community where for a lot of people it can be very, oh, a manta ray, that's new. Community can be really hard to find for some people. It can be really difficult. And Twitch provides a place for that sometimes. Hey, oh my gosh, Timmy. So one of my friends, Arunga, he's in here sometimes, is really into fucking 10-pin bowling as well. He goes every week. He's really good. He's really good. And then it's so funny because sometimes he'll be talking about it and he'll be like, guess what I bought? And I was like, what? He's like, new big smelly balls. Do you know you can get bowling balls that smell some kind of way? Did you know that? See, I'm educated about the 10-pin bowling scene. And he literally, I can't remember, we were all going to Magic one day and he was like, sorry, but before we all go, I'm going to require you to smell my balls. And God, fuck, it was funny. And ironically, they did smell kind of nice. But like, they're fucking, it's so weird. I can't believe I can't believe it. I do not play the online Magic game. Soon, Timmy. One day you will graduate to the smelly balls. I am aware, Phil. Cranky. No, they smell nice. They're like scented bowls. They're very expensive. Yeah. You got to be a serious bowler to justify it. But like, you know, people spend money on their hobbies. If you want to spend money on your hobby, you can save up and stuff like that. You have 6 balls you take to the league? Damn. Oh my God, look at you. You have so many balls. I don't know how this conversation is not great for out of context, is it? I'm just going to check on my food delivery as I am getting chicken katsu. Chat, they have a stop along the way. They have a stop along the way. God damn it. It's fine. I'm sorry, Timmy. It's hard. It's the ebb and flow of life. Both Timmy and Blue going through breakups right now. Is anybody else going through a breakup? I'm sorry if you are. It's really shit. I know, not a non. What a sell. Also, hi, Flamin'. Hi, Cranky. Welcome on in, you guys. Happy Monday. How you doing? Nope, been there, done that. Never doing it again. See, we all say that, and then it happens. This is why I'm fucked up in December, right? Because I've been through 3 breakups, like literally around Christmas, and every December I become mentally ill. And I try really hard not to every December, but every December, for some reason, it just pings and Hey!
Captain Farmers gifted 6 months of Tier 1 to
6
Annika's tech
months?
support. They've gifted 1,068 months in the channel.
And you got a turtle! Hi, Dottie. We are still on talking terms and actually heading out to her place soon. I mean, that's nice. I think if you could... Hey!
Boy!
Captain Farmers gifted a Tier 1 sub to Janny Joplin.
Did you just gift the other sub for the fish? You did, right? You did. I hope it's a good one. Gummy sharks? You got candy? Or are they actual gummy sharks? Oh, you did it for nice? Nice. 1069. Fuck yeah, nice. Now you can't ever gift another sub. That's just how it is. You got to stay there now. I feel like you should preface new relationships with that. Oh, God. Yeah, I'd be like, hello, nice to meet you. Okay, we're dating now. By the way, if you could not break up with me in December, that would be really good for my mental health. Thank you. I don't think that's going to have the effect you think it's going to have. Do you know what I mean, Jellybean? I just don't think so. Hey, I meant more I tend to struggle mentally in December. I don't know. There are like so many people who have been around here for years. Like Tasty knows my route. Like there are some routines that are very obvious. I have a breakdown in winter every year without fail. Even when I try to not get away from, even when I try to get away from it, it happens every single fucking time. And then December, predicted breakdown every fucking time. And I really do. I try and I get out of it. But it's like I'm doomed to repeat, like it feels like I'm doomed to repeat the struggles. Perhaps it will not happen this year. I mean, things are different this year. Also, my tarot card reading said there was wealth and abundance coming my way. Don't know how that's happening yet, but do you know what? That my tarot card reading was really good today. Not to mention I'm going to the gym. I'm going to get fit. You know? Well, Cranky, see, this is what I try and do now. I haven't been drinking very much, and I'm really trying to only drink when I'm happy. No drinks when I'm sad. No drinks alone.
Boy!
Wealth and whatever else you
Wealth
said.
and abundance. Anonymous, thank you for the $5. My goodness. See? The cards were right. Your wealth and abundance is your investment app paying a dividend. So I actually took, Tiny, I had $300 I think it had gotten to. I'm rich, okay? Out of the Raise app because they were charging me fees. And yeah, I decided to put it in another one. But in the other one, I don't get dividends. It just kind of will sit there forever. They all charge fees, I know. But it felt like I was paying like multiple fees instead of just one fee. Do you know what I mean? Oh, but you got a pay rise today, which is exciting. I saw that. That's so exciting. Oh, a 3.1% raise? Hey, nothing to scoff at. Nothing to scoff at. Hey, Blue, the only time I really get presents are from you guys or my mum. That being said, my friends did all pitch in and get me a magic card recently, which was so lovely. So that was so nice because, you know, it's really lovely. Like it's so nice. I will message you, Tiny. I want to say it online, but I'll message you the info and you can pass it along. Oh no, Strawman. What happened? You don't. You can't do any messaging, Blue. My God, they're still dropping off at the other person. I'm hungry. My favorite gifts are the ones where people saw something randomly and was like, Fox would like this. It doesn't have to be anything big. I so agree. Oh, Cranky, I'm so happy for you. How long have they been aging now? Hopecore, hey, what's happening today? Kamala is winning the election. Kamala is winning the election. I was flipping blue. I don't even know. My stretch goal is Texas flipping blue. But the hopecore is that we'll all be okay. No matter the outcome. Everything will not be okay, but we just keep living. We all just continue to exist and fight on, and we just keep going. I didn't read the details right. I completed the required work and waited. Then the congratulations for completing the work told me what it was. Oh, that's annoying. I'm sorry. That's disappointing. I'm glad you got the trailer though. My election coverage, I heard, was it Iowa turning blue? Yes, Iowa might go blue. Pennsylvania might go blue. North Carolina, blue, maybe. Georgia, potentially blue. Texas, maybe blue. They all might go red. We don't know. Honestly, I don't know. We just have to wait and see. We wait and see, you guys. But my coverage will be from midday Wednesday. I might try and even be brave and do a 12-hour stream if you guys can keep me entertained enough. But I'll probably start drinking in the evening, depending on the outcome. We'll either be celebrating or commiserating, so. The polls were so off the last two elections, so this is the third time lucky. Honestly, the polls have all been saying Trump's winning. Even the sports betting apps still think Trump's winning. So if that happens, that happens, you know. But they have been slightly changing, so we'll see. I think that the issue is that the Iowa poll is by a very respected pollster who has been correct within a couple of points for like years. Not all polls are the same. Some people really, really trust in polls. Some people don't. I have a solid feeling, though, that if Kamala does get the win here the next election, whoever is the Republican pick, is that they'll be winning in a landslide. I mean, it's definitely possible, but hopefully it's not someone that, you know, says they're going to put their political opponents in front of a firing squad. You know what I mean? I'm so done with Trump. Bye, Timmy. I'm so done. I just can't handle it anymore. As a woman, as a human being, it's just, yeah.
This is
Hey!
a full-blown house deposit, so.
You can get flag poles, dancing poles, equestrian poles, magnetic poles.
I don't know what she wants. You want a treat? Brian, thank you for the 6 months. Do you want a treat? Is that what it is? You want a treat? Is that really? You've already had everything. Look what she's getting. Focus. It's a little crocodile. It looked like drugs for a solid 10 seconds. Stop. Oh my god, you guys, 10 minutes till food. 10 minutes and this is a mukbang. I'm so excited. I haven't ordered food in ages. Ah! I've been so good. I'm so excited. Sorry. I really am. I'm just very excited. I got chicken katsu curry and gyoza. Oh, I'm sorry, Blue. That's cruel. I love peanut sauce, to be honest. Shall we tonight watch Philosophy Tube? It's TikTok versus democracy. So it could be really interesting conversation. I don't know if anybody, I don't know, you've probably already all seen it, but maybe like that. I think that's the kind of mood I'm in tonight. I'm just looking for a little bit of interesting conversation with a little bit of a snack. A few songs later, that's the mood I'm in. But for right now, I'm going to sit here and wait for my food to get here. It's now on the way. TikTok versus politics? Yeah, that's versus democracy is what it's called. It's cooking. It's not cooking. It's just slowly being delivered. My sister got bit by a hermit crab and it attached itself to her hand and we couldn't get it off for like 10 minutes. It was quite traumatic for her. Sometimes the hand just had to go. I think probably, I didn't have too much physical trauma as a kid, but my sister and I were playing Olympics on the swing set when we were quite young. And my sister was being a gymnast on the middle of the swing set bars, and she fell and landed straight flat on her face on both arms. And she walked in and she's like, "Oh, my arm is broken." And my mum didn't believe her to begin with, and I was just laughing. And she's like, "No, I can't move it. I think my arm is broken." Anyway, so we took her to emergency. It turns out her arm was broken. She had to get it put in a cast. Anyway, then it was the next morning and she walked out and she's like, "Mum, I think my other arm is broken too." Anyway, turns out her other arm was also broken and my sister had both broken arms for like 6 weeks when we were kids. And like, yeah, she had 2 broken arms. Yeah. Yep. How did they not notice? I mean, she's pretty hard. She's the sister who joined the army. She's been pretty hardcore her whole life, so kind of wild, hey? No, not attacked by wasps. That's so scary. One time I went to kick a kid's ball into the street. I didn't like the kid. I slipped and missed the ball and broke my arm. And then I walked a few blocks home with a broken arm. God. Ah, silver lining, Vox. Not the cracking your second big toe getting out of bed. Oh no, one of my footballers? I have so many. Love a footballer. It's so easy how accidents happen like this, right? You can see how people just, get hurt. Remember when I got oil on my face and I had like a oil burn from cooking in the kitchen? Do you guys remember that during the pandemic? So stupid. Yeah, it was so stupid. Scars do be cool though. Are you okay? Oh God, Clint. Oh, that's nice, Straw Man. I just can't believe you broke a toe getting out of bed. I didn't gamble on this election. I've been I've just been trying to be really responsible with my money recently. No gambling for me. Although part of me wishes I really had a bet on Kamala. Like the little degen gremlin in me is like, bitch, why didn't you put like $50 on Kamala to win? Like, why didn't you do that? I regret it. Anyway, my food is here. I will be right back in a much better mood because I'm about to eat some food. Enjoy your fishing. Goodbye. Oh, I'm in a delightful mood. This is when I feel a little disabled though. What'd you get? I'll show ya. Katsu sauce. Chicken and rice, and there's some little Japanese pickles there. And some gyoza. Oh God, sometimes food is just so life-changing in a day, you know? Hell yeah. Chat, gambling is so bad. I know. I used to gamble a lot. Like, it really destroys people's lives because it seems like such a quick and easy fix to a much more complicated problem. I would say, I think my biggest win was like $8,000. And my biggest loss was I lost quads v quads. I had quad kings on the flop in a game of poker in a cash game at Crown. And the other guy had aces and hit an ace on the river. So the flop was ace, king, king. I had a pocket kings. And yeah, the guy hit an ace on the river, and I remember feeling so sick. I don't gamble at all anymore. The win was online. I don't gamble. The most gambling I do these days is sometimes me and my mum will go put $50 on a roulette table. And even then, that is like once a year. I have a little bit of crypto that was gifted to me a while ago. But not really. Phil. Oh my God. God, the Japanese just do curry so well. I think playing poker for no chips is like, you know, like no money is fine. Oh my God. Oh my God. I would say for me personally, the most I gamble now is on my own abilities. Like, I don't know. You gotta gamble on yourself. Sometimes. Feels like gambling though, you know what I mean? Also, guys, I just want to take this moment to remind everybody how good is fucking rice? Well, not fucking rice, but like just like even plain. A textural joy. Like it feels like you're eating food. It's a textural joy. No, it's chicken. I don't gamble on the Melbourne Cup, so I couldn't tell you. I don't gamble on horses. Wait. Tasty, why is rice evil? What? Oh, I see. Well, luckily I have a potato here as well. Another great carb. Oh my God. Perfectly cooked. The joy of my life. Oh God. I'm so grateful today to eat food and not feel guilty about eating it. Like my brain is literally just happy eating food. Lovely. Really well. I posted a photo of last night's dinner in Discord. You might have to scroll back a bit. But yeah, my friends like their food, so. Oh, Blue, I do that all the time. Tuna and rice is like my go-to meal. Tasty, perhaps you could buy some rice. Oh, I spilt some. Disaster. Carrot, anyone? Oh, you have rice? Oh, Pixel, do not growl at me. Oops, I spilt more. Well, you too could have chicken katsu curry. It's easy to make. I made this for my dad and I during the pandemic. And my dad liked it, and it goes really well with an egg as well. Lol, Cam, you probably just should have used real pumpkin. Yeah, there's ginger right here. Look. Here it is. Yum. So yummy. So, I do have to admit, I have never had Spam. I would try it now, but I've never had it. I don't think. At least that I can remember. Lots of people say it's yummy though. My dad used to have this thing about sardines on toast. Like tin sardines on toast. Wait, it comes in a jelly? Interesting. See, I don't really have too many textural issues. Like texturally, I'll try anything. Like I can texturally do oysters which I feel like if you can texturally do oysters, you can do anything. See, I like mushrooms, but they have to be cooked. Oh, that's good with your salt and anything pre-made. Wait, by good with your salt, are you trying to have less salt, or are you trying to be good with your salt because and not buy pre-made stuff like a roux? I have never had Korean hot pot. No, but I've had hot pot. But I've never had like Korean hot pot. I mean, I'm having it with curry. I'm just dipping it. But also, part of my neurodivergency, and I've explained this before, is that I use rice and like pasta as a delicious palate cleanser. Like, I unironically really enjoy and really love the taste of plain white rice. Like, if the sauce was all over this right now, I would have a problem. But because I can control the amount of sauce, well, I like Japanese short grain white rice, which is delicious. This is just plain white rice for sure. I also like jasmine rice though. Basmati I can take or leave it most of the time. Hey! I don't know. Derek Grill and Bar on A Beckett Street. Okay. I'm pretty lucky because one of my other friends, Miggy, has a Filipino heritage. And so I get to try lots of really interesting foods. And then my other friend is from Sri Lanka. And so I got to try Sri Lankan food recently as well. Yummy. And then my other friend is actually Swedish. So I did have Swedish meatballs recently as well. Haven't quite had the pickled fish. Yeah, Rookie, there's some really good Sri Lankan takeaways. There's also like really good Sri Lankan restaurants as well. I don't know, but whatever the fried, what are they called? Rookie, you'd probably be able to tell me. What are the fried, like, entree things that you have in Sri Lankan food? What are they called? And they, like, come with different kinds of meat in them and... I don't know. It's almost like a spring roll, but it's not. It's kind of like a spring roll, but it's not. I'll have to ask. No, it's not a samosa. I'll have to ask my friend. I can't remember any of the names, but they were delicious. I have never barked back at Pixel, no. Copy, I think that is what it is. And then what were the other things we had? They're like fermented things that are like little cups. I can't remember what they're called. They're like fermented things. Oh no, Tiny. That's so funny. They're like, I think they're made out of fermented rice. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And then you have them like with an egg and curry and I'll have to Google what they're called. Hoppers. Yeah, they're called hoppers. They're also really yummy. You're made out of fermented rice? Well, right now I am. Okay, I feel like I've done really well, but this is a whole nother meal. I feel like I've achieved. To the fridge. Is it tofu? Hell no, it's chicken. I'm a gym girl now. No, I love tofu. I didn't want the tofu one tonight. I felt like a chicken katsu. The rice and chicken era has started. That's right, bitches. I'm fit now. I know, that's definitely 2 portions to me. Like, that's a whole nother meal tomorrow. You know? I'll be back. Oh, I'm so full. Or later midnight snack. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna fall asleep before that. Like, I don't think I'll be hungry after stream. I mean, I did only have a banana and junk food for breakfast, so. If you put a bit of the rice in a fry pan with egg and peas and a bit of sauce, you got a fried rice lunch too. Do you know what? I actually do have all those ingredients. I didn't like the new Philosophy Tube video, but I was also in a bad mood when I watched it. Well, let's find out together, shall we? You can have my opinion.
I'm going to perform this entire video.
I'm so full. You know when you're full up to here? Does that happen to anyone else? You know when you're full up to here, it's like you filled your stomach and then you've still got food in your esophagus? Like you don't. But I'm like full up to here. Like I really am. I really truly am, chat. It's... Oh my God. How's the camera looking? Fuck. Oh, I can't be bothered moving. Oh. Suppose I could try and move the camera on this scene. If you're seeing this, no, you're not. This is my secret behind the scenes. Secret. It's okay, everybody. I fixed it. All right. Oh no, how the sausage is made. I know. I know. Ridiculous by me. All right, let's have a look.
As one uncut take with no edits. If I make a mistake or forget my lines, we are just gonna keep it in. It's an attempt to create kind of an anti-content, going against the best practices of social media content. I guess that used to be called art, right? You see, I've been spending a lot of time on TikTok, and I have some concerns about how it's affecting democracy. Here's 3 myths. Number 1, the problem is fake news. Number 2, TikTok teens will save the world. And number 3, social media holds politicians accountable. I'm gonna bust. These myths. In ye old days, if you wanted information about politics, there was one or maybe a few centralized outlets. But nowadays, anybody can pick up a smartphone and start contributing to the information environment. The result is a massive increase in the amount and diversity of information available. And on the one hand...
And nobody is prepared to be able to sift through the amount of information that is available. I'm not, you're not. It is an overwhelming amount.
That might be a good thing. Societies need a lot of information to function. Information like, how many swords...
Blue, you can't say that. I'm not messy, but do you guys remember when Contra tweeted at least your ex-boyfriend didn't just copy your career? Because that was wild. Yeah, there's history. There's history there. Yeah, they're exes. Contra's doing what Contra does, making one video a year that we'll all love. And yeah. I don't know the timeline, Blue. I don't know the timeline.
do we have? How many barbarians are at the gate? How quickly can we make a lot more swords? That information is scattered through society in the heads of lots of different people. Democracy is one method of gathering and processing it.
By the way, is watching Philosophy 2 problematic? I thought most of the stuff was debunked, which is why I watched a little bit. back again. Oh, there was like shit going around at one point, but it's not right. I think it's okay.
And in theory, liberal democracies with robust human rights protections should be better at solving problems than authoritarian regimes. Because if people can feed back information to the government in the form of elections and protests and free speech in the media and so on, then vital information can make its way up the chain and the government can act on it, in theory. Whereas dictators just end up surrounded by people who tell them the information they want to hear, which makes them pretty bad at actually running countries. So a big increase in the amount and diversity of information available, thanks to social media, could be a really good thing for democracy and maybe even good for us as individuals, because, you know, it exposes us to all kinds of different points of view and so on. But on the other hand, a massive increase in the amount of information that citizens have to process is a little bit overwhelming, completely overwhelming. Actually, I'm exhausted. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. I'm wired all the time, and I can't sleep. I'm filled with a crushing sense of dread. It must be an election year. I need to touch grass.
This is so real.
Somehow this just isn't helping. There are two possible responses to information overload. The first is learned helplessness. Well, you can't possibly process all this information, so you just stop trying. Maybe you become apathetic. Oh God.
I feel like I feel like so many people sink into the apathy. It's one of the easier choices.
We're all the same anyway, right? There's so much contradictory information out there. Who even knows what's going on anymore? Who even knows what's real? In the worst cases, people become anxious, depressed, maybe more easily manipulated. Or maybe you start taking shortcuts with the political information you do consume. Instead of actually listening to what politicians are saying, you just pay attention to the vibes. Politics becomes something a bit more like sports or fandom. Like, have you seen that one TikTok of Tim Walz in a runza? Man, I love that guy. Couldn't name a single one of his policies. I don't actually even know what a runza is.
What is a runza?
But anyway, he seems like a real sweetheart. The other response to information overload is...
I mean, I know more about Tim Walz than that, and it didn't take much. I will say for me personally, if somebody has been a teacher, I automatically have more respect for them. I know that sounds insane, but if I know that, so I think it's because both my parents were teachers. And I think teaching is something that you go into a lot of the time because you truly want to teach, right? Like, you're definitely not going in it for the money. You're probably not going in for any sort of like substantial power. It's something I respect about a person.
Selective exposure. That's where you limit yourself to only consuming information that already fits your narrow worldview. We could call that filter bubbles or maybe echo chambers. In the 1990s, they called it cyber balkanization, which I think sounds a lot cooler, personally. We should have stuck with that. This response is really good for platforms themselves. If everybody's sorted into their nice little algorithmic niche, that makes it easier to hit us with targeted ads. And we love it. Posting nice, simple content that aligns with your niche gets you that sweet, sweet clout in the form of likes and shares. I mean, what do you get by posting challenging, nuanced content? I guess I wouldn't know.
Lol. Lol.
Selective exposure might
contribute to political polarization and maybe an increase in authoritarian thinking, as people come to believe that discussion is impossible because everyone's living in wildly different versions of reality. Although, I should stress that from the research I've read, that remains an unproven theory. It's a thing some people worry might be happening. Unfortunately, both of these effects can be gamed by bad actors. Social media can be used to spread propaganda at speed and scale, especially now, thanks to AI. Part of the problem is fake news, but only part. Another tactic might be deliberately flooding the information space with a lot of contradictory information to push people into learned helplessness and selective exposure. For example, in 2017, a bunch of documents leaked from a government office in China, showing that the Chinese government regularly employs people to post on Chinese social media. By analysing the wording of the posts, researchers were able to estimate that the government writes approximately 448 million posts every year, which, wow! I mean, if you work for the Chinese government, leave a comment? Most of the posts were positive, and they almost never lied about anything. They usually spiked on national holidays or just after big events like riots and terrorist attacks. Anytime people might feel the need to get in the streets and protest, government posters would write about positive things that the government was doing, or maybe just factual things like there is.
Yeah, look over here. Look over here. What do you mean? Look here, so I can get away with bullshit. Like, seriously, with the American election going the way it's going, like, what are we not looking at right now? You know? What's Israel getting away with? Like, do you know what I mean? It's just smoke, mirrors, and misdirection.
There's an upcoming conference. The researchers hypothesized that the goal was to distract people and dilute negative sentiment, still playing on learned helplessness and selective exposure, but just through positivity. And that might seem very scary, like, oh my God, if you thought fake news was bad, it's only the tip of the iceberg. But there might actually be some cause for optimism here. Fake news is one possible part of illicit influence campaigns. That's where bad actors use social media to try and modify people's behavior. Illicit influence campaigns need assets, things like websites, fake social media profiles, tame influencers. They also need things like money and time and coordination, and those things are easier to go after than just lies. People are always going to post bullshit on the internet, and there's not really a whole lot that we can do about that, but we can target illicit influence campaigns at the source. Here's an example from very recent news. Conservative influencers Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, Lauren Southern, and Benny Johnson have all worked for the American production company Tenet Media. In a recent US federal indictment, Tenet's founders are accused of taking almost $10 million from the Russian government to create content that polarizes the American public and potentially subverts their election, deliberately pushing people into...
I mean, sorry, I forgot about that for a minute. But it's so funny that those people were being paid by fucking Russia. Like, I mean, it was just so funny. It's just so funny. Like, they were literally spouting Russian propaganda and being paid like $100,000 an episode. Like, it's wild. It's just...
learned helplessness and selective exposure. Allegedly, the influencers themselves didn't even know their paychecks were coming from Putin. So
Peterson and Tucker Carlson as well? Fucking lol.
So here we have a real-life example of an illicit influence campaign. And fake news isn't the heart of the problem. Tim Pool and the rest post a lot of crap, but fact-checking them isn't going to make them stop because they're paid not to care.
Correct.
And their audience probably aren't going to stop watching.
Some people are so happy to lie. That's why, do you know what I mean? Like, some people are just so happy to stick to whatever lie they're being paid. to lie about.
Watching and sharing that kind of content either, because they've selective exposured themselves into an online community that fulfills some psychological need for them, whether the information they're sharing is true or not. Like, it's social media, emphasis on the social. So probably better to tackle the campaign at its source, which is what the US government is trying to do. Fake news is not the heart of the problem here. And hey, that was our first myth, so we can go and cross it off the board. Man, it feels really good to bust. Myths. And now on to our second. TikTok teens will save the world. Now, social media can effect some changes in society. Me Too started as a...
Honestly, I think the whole TikTok teens will change the world thing is definitely a myth. The reason I think it's a myth is because a lot of these teens have a lack of nuance. Right? Like, some of the people that got cancelled for not saying enough stuff about Palestine probably shouldn't have been cancelled. One specific one that comes to mind for me is Elise Myers, who there was a hate brigade towards her while her kid was sick or something for not speaking out politically. And I just don't know if we can do that. And I just don't know if that's the right thing to do. And I don't think it ends well for anyone. Like, honestly, there are so many times in a day when I think that I am not educated enough to have a particular opinion on anything. I haven't seen that shivering. I haven't looked in ages, to be honest, but TikTok is mean. I think it's mean. I think it's really hard to navigate.
And as a professional actor, I can tell you, it has had some effects on the industry. It's a lot more common now to have an intimacy coordinator on set when shooting a sex scene, for instance, and that's good, you know? It's not nothing. Black Lives Matter started as a hashtag, and now it's an international movement in control of several $1 million worth of donations. It is possible to grow a movement online and also to fundraise from a wider group of people than you could in ye old days. Unfortunately, that also means that movements can quickly grow beyond their capacity to organize, which leads them to fizzle out or splinter. The more a movement is social media based, the less it has to answer tough questions about leadership and responsibility and delegation, things that bind a movement together for the long run. An example might be Occupy Wall Street, which got a lot of people moving and in the streets, but didn't really stick the landing. It's easier than ever to join a social movement, but it's also easier than ever to drop out of one. And that in turn also means that it's easier for governments to just ignore large protest movements if they have a large social media component to them. I mean, yeah, you might get 250,000 people in the streets every Saturday, but as long as most of them are taking pictures of their funny signs and posting them online, they're not organising direct action. And if they are, you can always just arrest them. So, did we bust? I feel like we busted. Why don't we call this one a partial bust? And that leaves us with our third myth. Social media holds politicians accountable. Now, in the early 2010s, it was fashionable for people to say that Twitter might bring down authoritarian regimes, especially after Egyptian dictator Hosni Mubarak was ousted in the so-called Arab Spring. It was a series of popular revolts that happened in many countries that had a large social media component to it. Although these days, the idea that Twitter might be good for democracy is almost a little quaint. The new Egyptian leader...
Lamo. True. Also, I love that we still call it Twitter. I love that everybody calls it Twitter. Do you know what I mean? It's delightful. It's my favorite thing.
It was quickly replaced by a military dictatorship. China uses social media to control its population, as we saw, and Western elections are definitely vulnerable to illicit influence campaigns. You can use social media to do public humiliation. Oh, absolutely. No problemo. It's really, really good at that. You can bully politicians all day long. You can humiliate a billionaire so badly, he tanks his own businesses and gets clowned on by his own daughter. But that's not necessarily the same thing as accountability. In his book, The Unaccountability Machine, journalist Dan Davies says that accountability isn't actually a person-to-person thing at all. It's a function of the way organizations process information. As organizations become more complex, they develop ways of limiting the amount of information that flows through them.
This is so obvious in almost every corporate structure, by the way. It's like you give a specific group of people a bunch of information, but never the information shall cross over to the other bunch of people.
Just to stop them from becoming overwhelmed by it. And that can result in outputs that no individual actually...
It's not so they don't become overwhelmed by it. It's so that the decision making gets filtered through a hierarchy. I think. You can disagree with me if you want.
Decided on because the relevant information never crossed anybody's desk. And so there might genuinely be nobody to hold accountable. An example could be Boeing. Nobody at Boeing...
I mean, we've seen it in all of the political dramas, right? Where, like, the chief of staff doesn't tell the president something because then they have plausible deniability. Can't be accountable for something if you didn't know it was happening.
Decided to make shit planes. They wanted to cut costs, so they outsourced key jobs and they ignored whistleblowers. I.e., they dismantled the systems that feed back information to the top. The result is a system that makes shit planes, even though no individual actually decided to do that. So if Davies is right, then social media might be very limited in its capacity to deliver true accountability. It increases the amount of information out there, but that's not the same as saying that organizations actually have the structures in place to process it, which is what real accountability requires. Like, do you remember this?
I truly just don't believe any of us have the mental stability to process the amount of information that is out there. Like, it requires so much mental stability to be able to do it. And they ignored whistleblowers. Yeah, it's like listening to very specific. Oh, by the way, I think it's rather obnoxious for us to think that we specifically are living through the collapse of civilization. Although I do believe that potentially we might be living through the collapse of a civilization. Like, literally, do you know how many people that came before us thought they were living through the collapse of civilization? So many. We listened to the podcast, the Collapse of Civilization podcast, right? You're not special. We're not special. Okay? We're not special, but we are all here. So. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. One of my ex-boyfriends got absolutely sucked into this. And I find it so funny now.
Reluctantly, I have to bust. This myth. So, the impact of social media on democracy is
sort of a mixed bag. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. The things that make it good are also kind of the things that make it bad. And that prompts the obvious question.
Oh, we're flipping a whiteboard. Okay.
Now what? Well, I have an exciting solution for you. It's called middleware. It's not actually a solution. I'm setting something up here. I'm going to pull the rug out from under you in just a moment. Middleware is a layer of software that would go in the middle of social media platforms and their users to filter content. Right now, a lot of social media platforms do their content filtering in-house. That gives them a lot of power over what kind of information users see. Middleware would outsource that content filtering to third-party companies and allow users to choose between them the same way that you choose a browser. So, for example, let's say you were a big-time conservative and you were really worried about big tech censoring conservative viewpoints online. You could choose a middleware company that only showed you content and ads that aligned with your values. It would be free, and the companies would make money with a share of the ad revenue that currently goes to platforms. There are some potential privacy issues with middleware. For example, if I post news...
I hate this. Am I stupid? I hate this idea.
and your middleware company filters nudity, do they get to see my titties? Even though
I agree,
I didn't sign up to them and I didn't consent to them seeing that data? The data that is my titties? Like, presumably they have to see it in order to filter it, but do you see how that would be a problem? It also doesn't really solve the selective exposure thing. In fact, it leans into it. But in theory, middleware would take power away from big tech and stop extremist content going mainstream by hitting the front page, you know? And that could be a pretty good thing. It also wouldn't restrict anybody's free speech to post whatever they wanted. It's all right here in this lovely paper, which was written by Francis Fukuyama, the political scientist who famously said in the 90s that history was over because the Soviet Union collapsed. I guess history's not over after all. Going back at 3 a.m. for more history. But why is he writing about social media? And who's he working for? The Stanford Cyber Policy Center. Let me look these guys up. Okay. The Stanford Cyber Policy Center is a collaboration between Stanford Law School,
I am on Blue Sky.
makes sense, and the Freeman Spogli Institute for International Studies. Who are they? The Freeman Spogli Institute has no political ideology. Okay. But is a research and teaching hub. Okay, so they're like a think tank, kind of. Founded following a $50 million donation from Freeman Spogli and Company, a private equity firm specializing in middle market companies. Okay. Yeah, I wonder why those guys would be keen to fund a research paper saying that a bunch more middle market companies would be a good idea. Oh gosh, fellas, there's this whole new market of middleware companies out there created and ring-fenced by government legislation, but wouldn't you know it, somebody's got to finance it. If only a handsome private equity firm could swoop in and save the day.
Oh my god, can I get a handsome private equity firm? Anyone? Anyone? Llama.
Illicit influence campaigns, not just a social media thing, it turns out. Is this just an influence campaign? What makes it illicit? I mean, I guess technically American companies are allowed to try and influence the American government, whereas Russians aren't. Is it only illicit when foreign countries do it? And who's Freeman Spogli? Sounds like an elderly...
I mean, we just all constantly navigate propaganda. It's our lives. You don't even know when you're being manipulated sometimes. Like, you legitimately don't. You don't know. Remember when everyone wanted a green couch? No? Oh, okay, so that was just my algorithm then. Trust me, there was a time back there when everybody... Hey, I made $10.
Here, have some equity.
Oh, none. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that private. Actually, it's public equity. Because you did it in public. Thank you so much. I remember you wanting a green couch. Not everybody wanted a green couch. I'm an influencer. I set a trend.
The Italian pasta maker. Oh, it's actually two guys. Bradford Freeman and Ronald Spogley. They're conservative businessmen. That's almost a bit disappointing, isn't it? But Ronald Spogley was made ambassador to Italy by his former college roommate, President George W. Bush. Okay. Okay.
Interesting.
Too much information. Gotta focus. I gotta touch grass. Okay. Now, to be fair to the Frankenstein Gogglebox Institute, to the Frangipani Guggenheim, to be fair to Francis Fukuyama and all of his buddies, I'm sure that they are fine people and we can consider their ideas on the merits. In order to really understand the impact of TikTok or any social media platform on democracy, we need to think about how it fits in to the economy. Social media is an outgrowth of something called surveillance capitalism. That's the practice of spying on people and recording our behavior. Things like our browser history, purchase histories, the contents of our emails, our location, our face expressions and voice and so on. Turning that behavior into data.
I feel like mine's really boring. I always feel... Do you ever feel sorry for the feds that are assigned to you?
One sub to Doodles. They have given 143 gift subs in the channel.
Dottie, I can't believe you gifted Doodles. Do you ever feel bad for the feds that are assigned to you? Like, I feel bad for mine. They must be so bored. You know, like... No, because I'm interesting. I met them. They weren't so bad. Yeah, but I'm quite mentally ill, so it must be a trip for them sometimes. I just think they must think I'm fucking insane when I'm singing opera in the shower. Do you know what I mean? And then they're like, wow, this girl's boring.
House deposit, so...
Agent! Oh my goodness. Thank you for the 33 months. I'm so grateful. I'm sure your feds pay more attention to the chatters. That's right. Oh my god, maybe we have collective feds. Oh, it's all happening.
So
Big Brother is watching you and he's bored. Do better, you all.
Okay, we'll take a halftime. This is intermission to talk about our personal feds. Biped, thank you for the 4 months. How have you been going? Really good, Agent. I'm doing really well. I joined a gym. I'm eating food. My doggy's well. And I'm feeling capable of handling whatever the outcome of the election is. Even though, in my personal opinion, I think it's going to be Kamala. How are you going? Your little baby must be like a month old or something, even older. Don't know the name of my fed. Maybe he'll fall in love with me. Who knows? And then I can write a thing. Hey, Arclight.
Such good goop.
60 months and a sneaky tier 3. Chat, you don't want the Irish accent 2 days in a row. You don't want it. 12 weeks old? My goodness, how you doing? Yeah, we're on a hype train.
deposit,
It's
so-
true.
Manipulation train Kappa.
That's right. Would you like to be manipulated, chat? For a sub, I'll successfully manipulate you. I'm very good at that. G-Temp, thank you for the 59 months.
Guys, it's not a cult.
No,
You
not
can't
2
just
days
tell
in a
everybody
row.
It's a cult when they first come in. You'll
I
see it. It's a
actually-
community, guys. Community. Keep it.
This is reverse psychology manipulation. I actually don't want gifted subs. I feel like because I did my Irish accent yesterday, 2 days in a row feels excessive. Cruel. Perhaps. Oh my
full-blown
gosh.
house deposit,
Arc light. No, the
so-
green looks kind of good with yellow. Surly, 13 months? Thank you so much. No, green goes good with yellow. It looks nice. It's very Australia core. There's been enough violence for the year at this point. Not on my behalf. I feel like I've got maybe lots of, you know, metaphysical violence in the last little part of the year. You know, maybe I start punching a bag. Like a boxing bag. Not like just any old bag. Not like the handbag that's hanging over there or anything. Like maybe I, you know. Have you ever done a chat name color tier list? No, because I feel like potentially that's problematic. I know that there are people in here who choose their name colors for accessibility reasons. But basically, I'm convinced if you've got a pink name, you're a problem in my fucking chat. That's basically how I feel. Purple, generally unproblematic. Nice, delightful, beautiful contributors to conversation. That's what I get from purple. I chose mine because I like teal. That's valid. That's valid. I see you guys. I can get that. Hey, wait. Green names? Green names I associate unironically with logic. Most of the time, I feel like people, I don't know why, in my head I have it marked
Full-blown house
as...
deposit, so
Real martyrdom, 18 months. Thank you so much. Look, and you even got a little fishy? A little fishy for your sub? Did you get a fish? We don't know. We'll find out. A vape. Sorry about that. On my screen, my name looks purple, but when I see chat on stream, it looks blue. It always looks blue to me, Vic. You've always been, well, you've been a very dark blue. No, Evan, you're red. Louis pink. I don't know what to tell you. Yes, well, but your life experiences, chat, don't matter. It's mine. I am the overlord of the color here. So many chatters learning about color blindness today.
Strawman Me Bro gifted a tier 1 sub to
Strawman.
Orange Name. They have given 530 gift subs in the
Oh,
channel.
stop it. What's going on? Strawman, thank you for the gifted sub. Anarchist, thank you
Anarchist
for the
Tech Support
gifted
gifted
sub.
a tier 1 sub to Shivering Pug.
Wait, who in here is colorblind? Colorblind. Who here colorblind? Am I colorblind friendly most of the time? I don't even know. Do you even know? Do you know? What? Do you know what I mean? I'm not colorblind. There are tests you can do. As far as I know. Wait, you get tested. Do you people not know that you get tested for color blindness? I guess I am. Thanks a lot, pigs. Well, you haven't been tested for color blindness, Evan? Oh, well, you might be a little bit colorblind, potentially. It's not all that bad, though. Chat, thank you so much for the hype train, the level 2 hype train. Yeah, but Evan's in Australia anarchist tech support. I thought everybody got tested for colorblindness.
And using that data to predict what you will do next. This started with targeted ads. In the early 2000s, Google realized that all that data they were gathering by surveilling their users could be used to predict that you will buy a product if you are advertised to in the right way, thus making their predictions extremely valuable. How valuable, you ask? Well, obviously it depends on how accurate they can be. And so surveillance capitalism's business model incentivizes spying on you and gathering as much of your data as...
Honestly, I think there are colorblind tests that you can do online. Like, you can probably just Google one.
possible. And since then, this dynamic has leaked from online into the real world too, the Internet of Things. One example might be car insurance.
Chat, do you know what? I wish this was true, but I can't predict your behavior at all. I literally can't. I know I say I don't gamble, but I do. You guys are loot boxes. You're unpredictable. I will say there's a general trend of me never really making that much money on a Monday. That goes. Which is whatever, right? That's okay. I can predict yours. I know. You guys can predict me. I can't predict you, though. This is inequality. This is inequality. You can predict me at least. Just sing a Taylor song. It's true. In fact, I can't believe you didn't come in today with the secret songs. Cornelia Street and the Bolter. You also only know so much about all of us, some more than others. It's true. I have my little Rolodex in my head of all the information that I have. Louis, that's fucked up. That's so fucked up. I'm good at, I don't say weird shit. I say intelligent, interesting shit.
Boy!
I'll never be sober gifted a tier 1 sub to Nozads 3.
I'll never be sober. Thank you for the gifted sub. That was very unpredictable of you.
In theory, a car insurance company could put a tracking device in a car or maybe an app on your smartphone that monitors your driving habits. They could adjust your premiums in real time. They could even nudge you into adopting different kinds of driving behaviors. Like if you habitually drive very, 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 very fast, then they might send you an alert on your smartphone saying, oh, hey, if you keep driving fast, your premiums are going to go up. And so you'd slow down. After all, the surest
Ooh, that's creepy.
way of predicting somebody's behavior, and therefore the most profitable way of predicting somebody's behavior, is to modify it. In this example, drivers would be kept under constant surveillance and their behavior modified so that insurance companies can make more money. And the exact same principles can be applied to politics, because if a company can do that, a politician can do it too. That's what the Cambridge Analytica scandal was.
No, I never claimed to be highly intelligent, just smarter than you, Will.
A politician can do it. A whole government can do it. That's what the Chinese Communist Party are doing with social credit scores. the exact same technologies used to send me Instagram ads about productivity software and nudge me into buying shit I don't actually want can be used to subjugate an entire population. And that puts us in a very tight spot. In her book, The Age of Surveillance Capitalism, sociologist Shoshana Zuboff says there's a strong anti-democratic streak to this technology. After all, nobody voted for constant surveillance and behavior modification. The companies that do it unilaterally, sometimes illegally, to the benefit of a tiny number of people. This whole thing about ticking agree to a massive terms of service that we don't actually read makes a mockery of the notion of informed consent.
True.
And actually, the whole business of surveilling people, predicting what they're going to do and modifying their behavior, erodes the model of society where free, equal people come together, decide what to do, and trust each other, seeking to replace that model with a new kind of society, where people are constantly surveilled and prodded by computers to act like computers. Predictable, coordinated, and working for someone else. There's a straight line from this kind of technology to cryptocurrency, which seeks to replace central banks and governments with the blockchain. Oh, you won't need to trust anybody anymore. We're not going to need a social contract anymore. Code is law. There's also a straight line to AI, which is largely built on taking people's data without their knowledge or consent. Zuboff says we need legislation that gets rid of all of this pronto.
Yeah, I mean, we all just have to be like, it's just impossible. Like, how do you get away from ads when everything functions on ads? There's just got to be a fucking better way.
And that's a pretty big ask, because some of the biggest companies in the world, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, are up to their necks in it. Not to mention a lot of security agencies post 9/11, and again, China. But if it's that or democracy, one thing is for sure. Middleware ain't gonna cut it, Francis. History is happening again, Francis. And yes, I'm aware of the irony, maybe even the hypocrisy of complaining about this sort of thing on YouTube, a platform that is literally owned by Google. But I don't think it's unethical to produce content or even to watch it. My objection is with the economic conditions under which that production and consumption occur, namely the part where everyone involved, you and me, is being spied on. We could still have digital connection and social media and even YouTube without all this surveillance stuff. I mean, we did until 2005.
No, you just have to tell yourself that you're not going to buy anything that gets advertised to you based on algorithms. Like you just have to be very, you have to train yourself to not impulse purchase. And that's really hard for some people. I'm pretty good at it, like scrolling past an ad before I even look at it.
This isn't...
Yeah, but some people not having money, straw man, that doesn't stop them because they have credit cards. Like some people with ADHD, even if they don't have money, they fall for ads very easily.
Isn't even me saying, ooh, capitalism, bad. Like, we could do capitalism without this stuff. Again, we did. Surveillance capitalism arguably represents a break with free market ideology into something much more...
Afterpay is predatory. I've spoken about that so many times on my stream, Shivering. Afterpay is like a predatory payday loan. It's so bad. And with none of the benefits of having a fucking credit card. Like... I only got a credit card for the first time last year, and as responsible as I fucking am with it, I fucking see how people fuck it up. One bad accident, like I see how it happens.
Centrally controlled, and we landed here pretty much by accident. None of this was inevitable or the future or built into...
I pay for everything on my credit card now because it got me enough airline miles to go visit my sister. So, credit cards can be kind of shit, but they're also like, if you get ones with rewards, it's like really valuable as long as you're never paying a cent interest, which I won't. But I didn't realize how valuable the points were. Yeah, debt is really scary.
It's just marketing for tech companies. So it's kind of annoying that the big discussions we keep defaulting to when it comes to social media are free speech and fake news. Because we have much bigger fish to fry. TikTok, Facebook, smartphones, smart homes.
I mean, most people are in debt, right? Lots of people have a mortgage. Most people are in debt. Like it's, you know, it's one of those things. Lots of people have HECS debt or university debt. And you just have to go slowly. But it's always the first thing. Yeah, you shouldn't just have a credit card for the sake of having one, Excalibur. I mean, I don't know. Credit in the US works differently to credit in Australia. It's different. My mum used to make me put something away on lay-by when I was a kid. And I'd have to go in with my little pocket money and pay it off each week when we went to Target. And then like after 6 weeks, I would actually get the toy. Did you guys ever do that either? Did you guys? Like, I had to take my like little $5 in and go in and pay off my lay-by. Good for you, Brian. Yeah. I'm really lucky. I am old and I only got my first credit card last year. Yeah, the old Christmas saving.
Digital assistants, e-books, face recognition, voice recognition, the Internet of Things, the Chinese Communist Party, predictive policing, most of the security state post 9/11 and Pokemon Go are all part of the same pattern now, wherein whole sections of the economy and government are an illicit influence campaign, which arguably runs counter to the deepest principles of democracy itself. Although, maybe that's not such a bad thing.
Scary dark side music.
At the top of the video, I described democracy as a method for gathering and processing information. And if that's all it is, well, why wouldn't we replace that with computers? If we could know what everybody wants before they even know it themselves, even influence what they want, gather all the information that we need to solve the problems, then, I mean, why would we bother asking them? You got to admit, China's doing pretty good right now. Maybe we could use a little bit of what they've got going on. As research for this video, I read a lot of dark Enlightenment thinkers, people like Curtis Yarvin and Michael Asimov, who want to replace democracy with words like monarchy and aristocracy and corporate dictatorship sound so old-fashioned, so we'll have to come up with something new. I don't know, we'll do some marketing, we'll workshop that. But, some kind of system where the best people are in charge. You're the most technically able people instead of the mob, because democracy is so frustrating. I mean, did you know that I've lost every election I've ever voted in? And I have a first-class philosophy degree from one of the best universities in the world. I am more widely read than 99% of the population. I have lived my life as a man and as a woman, a breadth of experience that few members of the species can even imagine. And I live in England. Have you seen the people who run this place? Do you think I don't resent having to follow their rules every single day of my life? Of course I fucking do. I could do a better job with my eyes closed. I could be in charge. I should be in charge. And if people wouldn't listen to me, then I could use this kind of technology and finally I could make them listen. That kind of thinking is becoming more and more popular, especially in the tech world. The world of surveillance capitalism. People like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, they're fishing in that pond. Surveillance capitalism's ability...
Honestly, I was talking to my friend about this today before she did my tarot reading, lol. And I honestly think that the reason Elon Musk endorsed Trump is because he unironically wants slaves. I don't know if that's a hot take. I literally think like Elon Musk is actual like dark overlord vibes, and he wants the US to be in a political and economic situation where he can have slaves. Like he can have some sort of like corporate town where he doesn't have to pay people anything and they all just like worship him as a god.
Ability to subjugate people makes it attractive to authoritarians of all stripes, including religious authoritarians, people like J.D. Vance, and white supremacists, racial authoritarians. And I get the frustration with democracy, believe me. I really do get it. Part of what keeps me out of that dark place is knowing that whilst I have a lot of information in my head and I've achieved some things in my life, a lot of that was down to luck or privilege. You know, if I'd been hit by a car at 14 and I'd had to spend 2 years learning to walk again, then probably wouldn't have had time to study and get good grades and get into a good university, and I could be in an accident tomorrow. Right? I could, damage my brain and lose it all. So having more information or resources or whatever doesn't...
It's so funny because I do relate to that in some ways. You don't really know how like the tragic things that happen to you in your life are really going to change your life in like really poignant ways. Like you don't realize it at the time. I'm sorry,
Dottie. I
Dottie.
have the right to tell anyone else what to do. It gives me the responsibility to use those gifts to help other people. So, what if democracy isn't just a way of gathering information to solve problems? What if it's meant to be a process where free, equal individuals come together and agree to be bound even though we aren't forced? Maybe it's not a system for choosing the best leader or guaranteeing the best outcome, as maddening as that is sometimes, but maybe it's meant to be a system that has maximal respect for everyone's equal humanity. And in a world where people's humanity is all too often ignored or sidelined for war and profit, I think that we could do with more democracy, not less. This is the part of the video where normally I would do an ad read for Nebula, the streaming service that sponsors my content, but given the subject matter, it would feel a little bit weird to just play that straight. So what if instead we had a really frank and honest discussion about how Nebula fits into all of this, and you can make up your own mind. Let's use it as a case study. And, well, I guess if I'm doing anti-content, I might as well do an anti-ad, right? So, first of all, I should explain what Nebula is, in case any of you haven't heard of it. It's a premium streaming service that I and a bunch of other creators co-own. There's about 200 creators on there at the moment. And on Nebula, we put ad-free videos, bonus videos, early access videos, and also fully produced Nebula originals, like my play, The Prince. I wrote a fiction play that we staged in London a couple of years ago. We filmed it, and the film was on Nebula. Also, my movie, Dracula's Ex-Girlfriend, which I just wrote and acted in. That's just come out on Nebula too. Nebula doesn't run ads. Instead, they are funded by subscriptions, like any other streaming service. Now, I need to make sure I use absolutely precise wording here. So, here we go. When people sign up to Nebula using my link specifically, I get a cut of that subscription and they get a discount. Now, I say that to explain how the system works and also to highlight to you that I have a direct financial incentive to believe and to say that Nebula is good. So feel absolutely free to bear that in mind throughout the following. In general, Nebula try to minimize what data they do gather. If you're running a streaming service, you need people's payment information and also an email address. Like, it wouldn't work otherwise. In order to pay the right taxes, they also need to know what jurisdiction you're in. They also need to know which link users click to sign up so they know which creators to pay and how much. So they can tell whether you sign up using my link or Lindsay Ellis's or Legals and so on. The software that actually encodes and plays the video needs to know things like what kind of device you're on and what browser you're using so that it can send the videos to you. Nebula tries to keep user data in-house as much as possible, so the video playing software itself was actually written in-house. It may also gather data on how long you're watching and general location information like what country you're in. So for example, if 1 million people in Brazil suddenly start watching Big Joel videos for hours and hours and hours, then they'd be able to see. That data is used for internal business stuff, like sharing revenue with creators based on watch time. You can turn that data gathering off in your privacy settings if you want to. And they also don't use any of that data to train AI, which I really like. In general, their AI policy is pretty good, and it should be, because as one of the co-owners of Nebula, I actually had a hand in shaping that policy, so that's pretty cool too. In order to operate the business, some of the back-end software comes from third-party companies, and Nebula shares some data with them. For example, the analytics stuff about watch time and your payments is processed by a third-party company. Another example, if someone experiences an error on the platform, Nebula may use data like what device you're watching on, what version of the app it's running, and your IP address. And they kind of have to do that in order to make it work. So, for example, if everyone in France on iPhone suddenly gets a software update and they can't use Nebula anymore, then that's kind of important information from the point of view of fixing it. The software they use for logging and tracking errors is third-party. Currently, they use a company called Sentry, which again allows them to limit how much user data they share. Yeah, I think I got that right. Yeah, all very precisely worded. When I chatted about all this with Nick, Nebula's chief product officer, he answered all my questions. And also he highlighted to me that Nebula's business model isn't based in that surveillance and prediction world. Instead, it only really works when creators get our audiences to sign up. So audience trust is the most important thing, not audience data. So whereas, say, other social media platforms might monitor what other apps you have installed on your device in order to make sure they maximize the amount of time that you spend on their app and send you as many targeted ads as possible, Nebula doesn't need to gather that kind of data. And so they don't. So in general, I think there's a pretty good case for saying that Nebula do a good job here. Not zero data collection, because they couldn't make it work with zero data, but they are transparent about what they do with it, and that's pretty cool of them. They also, I mean, they could have just shrugged their shoulders and said, selling people's data, that's just the industry standard now, that's how the economy works, but they didn't. So that's pretty sweet of them. I'm double-checking about everything here. The legal department were just like, okay, got to make sure we're very, very transparent with people. Yeah, cool. Awesome. As mentioned, I have a financial incentive.
I do think this is the way I've always tried to be with my content as well. I do think there's just something to be said about being really transparent. Like, the more honest you can be and the more transparent you can be, You know.
Here. So feel absolutely free to go and double check all of the policies and statements yourself. Thank you very much for watching my weird anti-content. I would like to say a massive thank you to the Philosophy Tube crew who went along with my weird idea of doing this all in one take. If you're watching this take, this was take 4. We went back and reshot it to make absolutely sure that everything I just said about Nebula was as precise and transparent, as honest as possible. So thank you very much, everybody. And oh, hey, if you do decide to get Nebula, go watch my movie.
4 takes? Oh, you couldn't pay me. I am not an actress. I can tell you that, because, oh my God. Oh my God. Put me in the bin.
Boy!
So transparent I thought I was watching a chess stream.
Oh, wait. No, no, my skin is of normal translucency, thank you.
Just came out. Tell me what you think.
Vin, I'm pretty sure the reason I never got invited back to Juice Media is because it took me 12 hours to record. So many takes. There was lots of reasons why there were so many takes for my Juice Media ad. But one, there was no teleprompter, so we had to like makeshift stuff. Two, yeah, I'm pretty sure the reason I never got invited back is because it took so long. I think usually, like, I was there for a while.
Let me know what you think. Thanks very much. Goodbye. Okay, I mean, I think that's it. I think we got it.
Can the devil show if it does?
The fact that that was all a 35-minute single take is impressive work. Like, for real. Night, Tiny. Have a good one. The fact that that was... Yeah, wow. I think there's a lot of good points in there. I think social media is fucking us. I think it's also interesting for young people who don't have the ability to choose who is an intellectual authority. They just listen to the person who, you know, validates them the most at whatever particular stage of life. Like, we have children learning from children. We have teenagers learning from teenagers. You know, it's not so much a teacher teaching. It's not adults teaching children. It's YouTube. There's a long list. They need a cult leader like you? Mwah. Yes. I thank you so much, everybody here, for choosing me as your intellectual authority. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I mean, obviously I'm a good choice. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you had to pick an intellectual authority, you probably should have chosen me. Because I'm the best one. No, like, legitimately, Teresk, it's scary. No, you guys, I have learnt so much from you guys. Honestly, it was my... I think because I had been on the internet for a little while and I wasn't ashamed of looking silly, I was not afraid and still am not afraid to be wrong and learn on the internet. And I think that's the difference. I think everybody, it's far more profitable and sellable to be an intellectual authority on something. When you are open about your lack of knowledge or the things that you are still learning about, or even when you are humble, it it is not as compelling to a lot of people. Lots of people want to look to an intellectual authority, not have a conversation, because it's a more comfortable thing. It's like, oh, somebody just told me what to think. It's like that scene in Fleabag where she's like, oh, tell me what to think, Father. I just want somebody to tell me what to eat, what to wear, right? And to be fair, like a lot of people are looking for that. And they find it in all sorts of different corners of the internet. You learned the wonder of the air fryer? It's true. I do love the air fryer now. I was converted. What did you learn from me? Anything? I'll be back. Nothing good. Oh, shit. Hi, Psychosec. I learned some things from you. Yeah, I taught you about lobster sex. You're welcome. I hate to think what you might have learned from me. I've learned a few things from you for sure. Hi, Micromets, how you doing? I learned how important it was to keep up with the dishes. Yeah, you all learned how to build a good nest while I was depressed. I learned that sushi is the best food of all foods when mixed with hot chocolate. Excalibur, kill me now. Chat, I'm really tired. I've learned how toxic individualism can be from you. Yeah, it really can be. It just isolates you and makes you really sad. Yeah, I hope you've all got a skincare routine from me. I've learned how much you hate tomatoes on a sandwich. These are all going on my resume, by the way. I've learned a lot about how to have a conversation after I forget all of it. Well, that's what happens. You realize there are certain things that stick in your brain for a long time. There are certain things that stick momentarily. But what you need to have constantly in your brain is the overarching, matrix of information. I don't think it's necessarily important to remember, the dates of everything. Although if I do want to remember a date of anything, it has to be in musical form. You know, like in Hamilton. I learnt some dates from Hamilton. It's very hard not to react, though, sometimes, Blue. DJ, are you saying that I'm going mad? Because I am, for sure. Just add it to your calendar, preferably every month. What, falling asleep? What am I adding to my calendar, preferably every month? My breakdown. What do you mean? I'm fine. I'm thriving, actually. Dates you need to remember? Oh. Yeah. I mean, I do have a calendar that I put all my dates in. Gotta learn to play it out. And you just learn things over time, Blue. I learned to interpret things with a bit more joy. Aww. You gotta have a little bit of joy somewhere, otherwise it's all too heavy and you wanna... If you're not depressed, you're not paying attention. No, see, I hate that. I hate that because you can be paying attention, but the only way we're going to get anything done is if most of us fight our depression. Like, I have lived my life in some sort of functional depression, probably my entire life, but you have to fight it. You can't just sit in it. I don't know what to tell you. You literally can't. Hi, Acid. And I'm not trying to say it's not okay to have moments of overwhelming sadness because, I mean, look at me this year. I've been barely functional. I mean, to be fair, my grandma did die. And look, there's some other shit happened too. But like, you are allowed to have moments of overwhelming sadness. But most of the time, like, I pay attention. I'm looking. I'm reading. I'm learning. Look, there are lots and lots of sock dams. Famous. You don't even have... Again, left enough for some, not left enough for others. It's a spectrum. Yeah, grief is really hard to deal with and it comes in waves. And so it's fine, but you can be paying attention. Oh my God, you got a blue whale? That's the first time I've seen a whale, Acid. I have not seen a whale yet. Have we seen a whale before? Damn. First fish on the channel. Nice. Chat, I'm going to sing you 2 songs, but then I'm going to go to sleep. I'm really tired. See, Anna, because that's the thing. And I think it's one of the hardest things about being a progressive is that everybody has a different idea of how we should get it done. And sometimes that can be just difficult.
AUS.
Absolutely. You can have 2002.
2002, please.
Sure can. Always remember the day you kissed my lips, light as a feather. And it went just like this. No, it's never been better than the summer of 2002. We were only 11, but acting like grown-ups, like we are in the present. Drinking from plastic cups, so your love is forever and ever. Well, I guess that was true. Dancing on the hood in the middle of the woods on an old Mustang, where we sang songs with our childhood friends. And it went like this, say, oops, I got 99 problems singing bye, bye, bye. Hold up, if you wanna go and take a ride with me, baby, hit me better one more time. picture for you and me on the days when we were young, singing at the top of all our lungs. Now we're under the covers. Fast forward to 18, we are more than lovers. Yeah, we are all we need when we're holding each other. I'm taking back 2002. Dancing on the hood in the middle of the woods in an old Mustang where we sang songs with our childhood friends. And it went like this, say, oops, I got 99 problems singing bye, bye, bye. Hold up, if you wanna go and take a ride with me, better hit me, baby, one more time. Paint a picture for you and me on the days when we were young, singing at the top of all our lungs on the day we fell in love. On the day we fell in love. Dancing on the hood in the middle of the woods on an old Mustang where we sang songs with all our childhood friends. And it went like this, oops, I got 99 problems singing bye, bye, bye. If you wanna go and take a ride with me, better hit me, baby, one more time. Paint a picture for you and me on the days when we were young, singing at the top of both our lungs on the day we fell in love. On the day we fell in love. On the day we fell in love. Love, love, love. That was fun. It's a good song. It's got a very catchy beat. It's got a very catchy beat. Thank you for the roses, everyone. I probably got one or maybe two more in me. I'm really tired. My eyes feel like they're gonna close. I don't know what happened. It's the food. Oh my God, do I have diabetes? No, I've been tested for diabetes twice this year. I don't have diabetes. I just ate too much food. And now I have I want that post-food nap. I know. I know. Oh, I leave quite an impression, 5 feet to be exact. You're wondering why I feel clothes when missing my body's where they're at. Now I'm gone, but you're still laying next to me, 1 degree of separation. I heard you're back together, and if that's true, you'll just have to taste me when he's kissing you. If you want forever, and I bet you do, just know you'll taste me too. He pins you down on the carpet, makes paintings with his tongue. He's funny now, all his jokes hit different. Guess where he learned that from? Now I'm gone, but you're still laying next to me, 1 degree of separation. I heard you're back together, and if that's true, you'll just have to taste me when he's kissing you. If you want forever, and I bet you do, just know you'll taste me too. La 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 la. Every time you close your eyes and feel his lips, you're feeling mine. And every time you breathe his air, just I feel like I've been there, done that once or twice. The singing about it don't mean I care. Yeah, I know I've been known to share. Well, I heard you're back together, and if that's true, you'll just have to taste me when he's kissing you. If you want forever, and I bet you do, just know you'll taste me too. La 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 la, you'll just have to taste me when he's kissing you. La 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 la, you just have to taste me when he's kissing you. I would love to sing this one for you, Dottie. She's got a smile, and it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as a bright blue sky. Now and then, when I see her face, it takes me away to a special place. And if I stay too long, I'd probably break down and cry. Whoa, sweet child of mine. Whoa, sweet child of mine. She's got eyes of the bluest skies, as if they thought of rain. I'd hate to look into those eyes and see an ounce of pain. Her hair reminds me of a warm, safe place where as a child I'd hide and pray for the thunder and the rain to quietly pass me by. Whoa, sweet child of mine. 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 Where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go? Where do we go now? Oh, where do we go? Sweet child of mine. Where do we go? Oh, where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go? Where do we go now? No, 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 no. Sweet child of mine. Pixel's being weird. Oh, did you bring your ball in? Are you bored? I took you for a big walk today. Are you a bit bored? Is this what it is? Okay. Need that on Spotify? No, you don't. There's so many songs on Spotify, I'd just be adding to the noise. Chad, I have this problem. My voice feels good, but I'm very tired. I'm facing a challenge. Pixel, what's wrong? What's wrong? I think she thinks because I gave her all her DINNER at once that she's missed out on one. Oh, okay, I'm too tired. I'm too tired. I'll go to bed. I'll go to bed or this will descend into madness and that would be embarrassing. I'll go to bed. I'll be back. Will I take tomorrow off? I think I'm taking tomorrow off. I kind of don't want to because I'm really in just a really good state of mind. But I am taking tomorrow off so I can do well Wednesday. I think I'm going to do a 12-hour stream on Wednesday. So if you want to come along and support and cope through the election together, it'll be like a 12 till 12 kind of thing. I think. I know, baby. I'm coming to cuddle. Would you like to watch Shrinking on the couch? Just you and me? Yes, you want to watch some crazy men on the television? I'll take that as a yes. No, thank you guys. It is daylight savings where I am, I'm pretty sure. Indeed. I know, darling, I'm right here. Hold on. Chat, I'm going to raid into Kate. Mainly because Kate is a very cool creator. She's playing Life is Strange. But also Kate really likes it when I sing and it makes me feel really good on the inside. Like Kate hangs out here on a Sunday while she does her washing and listens to me sing. And it's nice. Do you know what I mean? It's just really nice. I know. For someone from that side of the country, you're so right, Famis. Sorry I didn't stay on very long to sing. I'm just tired, you guys. Usually I would. But I know Wednesday is going to be, you know, and I really need a nap. My eyes, they do be closing. And do you know what I do have in the morning? The gym. Better go get it. Oh, God. The fact that I now have to get in the shower before I can pass out is the hardest thing. Like, I just want to go sit and pass out on the couch and do nothing. But I know that's bad for me. I won't do that. But I want to. I want to do it so bad. I do. I want to do it so bad. You don't have to. No one's forcing you. I know, but then I might get cellulitis on my face again if I fall asleep. Anyway, goodbye, everybody. I'll see you Wednesday. Don't do anything I want to do. See ya.